Hey guys, so I am going to do something a little bit different than I normally do. I'm not really much of a vloggy type person. I more or less just like show you stuff. But since it is finally October, I decided to do a few different special things this month. The first one is I am going to be doing Halloween makeup tutorials. My first one's going to be a mermaid, but I think I'm going to film that tomorrow. I tried to the other day and it was just a major failure. I couldn't do it properly. And I'm also going to be doing paranormal vlogs. I did not come up with this idea. If you know who Graveyard Girl is here on YouTube, she's amazing. She's one of my favorite gurus. And it's such a good idea, and I really like watching those. And yeah, basically I am a huge believer of the paranormal. There is no way, shape, or form that you could ever convince me that ghosts aren't real. I don't care about all your like debunked crap. I don't care about people telling me that ghost shows are fake. I don't care if they think that there's ways you can fake things, which I know there are. I know there's tons of fake photos, fake videos, fake experiences. I know that. But I've had way too many experiences of my own and things that people have told me that are trusted sources that just prove it to me. Like, I am a firm believer. I will always be a believer. I have been since I was a little kid and I first started having experiences. So even if you're not into the paranormal, I'm sorry. There's no way you're going to convince me otherwise. So right now I have an idea for these vlogs. Basically, I'm just going to split it up into different categories of experiences. I have the list on my phone. That's what I'm looking at right now. One of them is going to be experiences that I've had with my deceased uncle. One is going to be about my grandma's house. My grandma's house is haunted. One is going to be about the experiences I had when I would hang out with my ex-best friend. Me and her used to go ghost hunting a lot, and she's also a firm believer in the paranormal, and she lived in a crazy haunted house too, so that was nuts. And then I'm going to be telling you guys about experiences in my house, which is haunted. It's crazy haunted. I know nobody believes it because my house is brand new, but that's a whole other story. If you've never been to my house, then you wouldn't believe me either. But if you have, you know. And that's going to be a 2-part, maybe a 3-part, because a lot of crazy things happen here. So I think the first one I'm going to start out with is the one about my uncle. Now, this is going to be really, really weird. And it's going to be weird because it's just so hard to explain. Like, this one's going to be a lot more different than the other ones. In the other vlogs I'm going to be doing, there's actual like pictures that I have, or video documentation that I've had, or experiences, like things I've seen, things I've heard. And this one is just more or less a firm belief, kind of. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I don't know. I don't think my uncle is a ghost or a spirit. I really do think that he's an angel, which is weird because I don't believe in angels. I'm not religious. I don't believe in heaven. I mean, if you are, that's fine. That's your thing completely, but it's just not mine. And I like know that he's not a ghost. It's weird. So I'm pretty much very positive that he's my guardian angel, but I don't know why. I've thought that my whole life. And from some of the things that I've talked to Alora about, because she's a firm believer in all of this too, she takes my side. She believes it. She also said that he's probably my guardian angel. So this one's going to be a little bit weird, but I still have some odd experiences happen. Let me tell you a little bit about him first. First of all, he passed away when I was 2, and he died of AIDS. And the weird thing is, I don't remember him at all. I don't remember what his voice sounds like. I don't have any memories with him. There's no pictures of us together, and if there are, I've never seen them. I just don't know him at all. So why on earth he chooses to stay with me, I will never know. I've never even heard his voice, like not even in like videos or anything. Like, I have no idea. All I know is that he loved animals. He worked at the Humane Society. He had tons of pets. He was really nice. Apparently he was really funny, really creative, and a lot of people in my family always say, oh, you remind me of Glenn. You I don't know, you guys would have gotten along great. And it just makes me sad to think that I'll never have the chance to know for myself. But that's beside the point. So that's just why I'm kind of like, am I crazy? Is this really happening? Like, what's going on? Because I don't remember him, and I don't know why he ever would have picked to be my guardian angel. I have no idea, but I know he is. It's crazy. It's beyond me. So first of all, just a lot of like crazy things happen that could easily be a coincidence, but I just feel like they're not. Like, I just feel like they're not. Like, easily could be coincidence, but to me, they're not. For example, one night, this was like maybe 2 weeks ago or so, I was laying in bed and I was just so sad about something. I don't know why. I was just really upset and I was crying. I don't even know why. And on my TV, we have like the XM radio stations, channels, whatever. And I had it turned down pretty low. I couldn't really hear it or anything. And I was laying there and I was like venting to my uncle because I just have this feeling that he's listening to me all the time. And I was just like, oh, I wish you could just talk to me or something. And all of a sudden, I just got this like overwhelming feeling to just turn up the volume. I have no idea why. I just had this overwhelming feeling to shut up and turn up the volume. So I did. And then like a second later, the song Distance by Christina Perri came on. And if you've never heard that song, you should definitely listen to it. But I started listening to the lyrics and it just almost sounded like he was speaking to me. So in my eyes, it was him telling me to listen to it because it was encouraging. It's just kind of hard to explain, but if you listen to the song, then you'll understand. So that was one. Another time, I was tanning. I was just laying on my deck, and it was such a hot day, and there was no breeze or anything, and I was sweating bullets. I was like, it is so hot. And I was like, God, Glenn, just help me out. It's so hot. And then, like, out of nowhere, this huge random gust of air, and it was just so refreshing feeling. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, thanks so much. It felt great. It was just weird, and there was not another breeze the whole day, and I thought that was kind of weird. One time, I was driving home from work, and Laura was texting me, and I do text and drive sometimes. Ooh, very bad, but I know it's really bad. I shouldn't do it, but I do sometimes. And I did it the whole way home, and then I turned onto this one road, and I look at my phone, and then I look back up, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't do this right now. And like a millisecond later, a hearse drives by, and I'm like, yep, nope. I put my phone back down and I didn't text. I haven't texted and driven whatever since. Because think about it, like, at least where I live, you don't see hearses every day. I have only seen 3 hearses since this time last year, and one was like broken down. That one, and then because I was at a funeral. But that was it. It was just crazy. I was like, really? And like 2 seconds later. So it was, to me, it was him telling me, you're going to die if you text and drive. So I put my phone down. I haven't done it since. The other day, I was coming out of work, and it was the worst day of work that I've ever had, ever. It was horrible, and it was awful. Like, I cried that day at work. It was horrible. And I was getting in my car, and I was like, man, Glenn, it was such a tough day. I really wish you were there to help me. And then I start my car, and then guess what song comes on the radio? It's Distance by Christina Perri. And those are the only 2 times I have ever heard that song. And this was like weeks after. So that was pretty weird to me. I've never heard it on the radio before or after that. So that was kind of cool. Another time, okay, well, let me explain first. There is, on my vanity, I have 3 mirrors on it. There's like the big one, and then there's one on each side that are kind of angled, but they're just like mirrors. And I have some pictures of my uncle on one side kind of tucked into the side of one of the mirrors. And it's right next to my window, and I have these long sheer curtains. Let me just show you these. And they're really light, really sheer. I can see through this right now. You guys probably can't, but I can. And my window was open, and first of all, my curtains, every time my window is open, the wind blows it or whatever, if there is wind, and it'll blow the curtains maybe, but it never, ever, they've never knocked anything down, ever. And the way that my vanity is set up, it's like behind the curtain. So even if the wind blew, it would blow it away. You know what I mean? So that made this pretty crazy to me. There was one day where my ex-boyfriend, I'm like still in love with him. And I was just really happy because I was talking to my ex-boyfriend. And then I said out loud, Glenn, I'm madly in love with this kid. Do you approve of him? And 2 seconds later, this gust of wind, and it wasn't even a windy day, it blew my curtain, somehow knocked over just one of the pictures of him on there, and it landed face up right in front of me, and it was a picture of him smiling, and I took that as yes, that he approves and that he's happy. And yeah, I don't know. Okay, and another thing that I think is really weird is that I get really emotional when I think about him. Like right now, getting a little touchy. I don't know why. Like I just get so emotional, and it's like, why do I miss somebody that I don't know so badly? Like he died how? Okay, 1995. So what's 19 minus 2? 17? 17. So he died 17 years ago. I was 2. I don't remember him. I don't have any memories with him. I don't remember anything about him. Don't even know what his voice sounds like. Nothing. And I get so emotional when I think about him not being here or anything like that. And I don't understand why, because I've had other relatives die that I've known my whole life, like grandparents, great-grandparents. I've had friends and acquaintances from school, people that I was close to, die even from tragic, horrible things, and I never get as emotional about them as I do about him. And to me, it's like I've known him forever and that we're so close, and that's just kind of like recognition to me that he is my guardian angel, because if he wasn't with me every day, why do I feel so attached to him? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And nobody in my family knows that I feel this way or that I think that he's my guardian angel, because they would seriously think I was crazy because I don't know him. They would think I was nuts, like bonkos, buku, off my rocker. They would think I was crazy because they would be like, you don't know him, what the hell's your deal? So I don't tell anybody that stuff except for Alora, so yay. And the reason I do confide in Alora so much about my uncle is because she is in a similar circumstance, and I got permission from her to talk about her uncle as well. I didn't want to say anything to upset her, but she was in a similar predicament. When she was 2, her uncle also died a tragic death, and she said that when she was younger, she used to talk to him all the time, and now she really doesn't, but she still feels like he's there. Like, he's kind of watching out for her too. Her mom said that her uncle loved her, and I feel like I might be in the same boat. I don't know how my uncle felt about me. Nobody ever said anything about how he felt about me, but I started thinking about it, and when my uncle died, me and my 2 older brothers were the only niece and nephews that he had. So I was thinking maybe he was trying to protect his only niece because he never met his other ones. So maybe that's what it is. I don't really know. And the reason I'm bringing Alora's uncle into this is because there was another time when we definitely would have had to be guarded by guardian angels, or we seriously could have died. Like, there was a day when we could have, I don't want to say almost died, but we could have, had the circumstances been tweaked just a little bit. This was over the summer. There's this road, and it's called Roller Coaster Road. That's not really the name of it. That's what everybody calls it. It's basically just a back dirt road that barely anybody goes down, and it's long, and it's really, really hilly. It has tall, huge hills, and stupid teenagers like us will just go extremely fast, drive down that road, and they'll just act like they're on a roller coaster, and it's so stupid. I've only done it, well, I've done it 3 times, but I wasn't driving any of the times. The first 2 times I went down, it was the same day. Like, me and 2 of my friends went down it, and we turned around and we did it again, and that was really stupid. And another time we did it, we were actually visiting. It was me, Alora, and then 3 of our other friends. We actually went to the cemetery to visit one of our friends who passed away last fall, and right after we were done, we got this stupid idea to go down that road, and so we did, and it was just really stupid what we did. Basically, we're going on the road, and I want to say we were going maybe like 50 or 55, and the road's really narrow. We were going up this hill, and my friend Logan, who was driving, and one of my friends who's driving is a total idiot, and he's driving right in the middle of the road like a dumbass, bless his soul. And as soon as we reached the top of a hill, there's another car coming our way. And we, like, this is us, this is this car, and we completely, like, scraped the side of their car. And then my friend who was driving, he hit the brakes and we went into a ditch. And we scraped sides, and we were both going at least 50 something miles an hour. And if you think about it, had we even been just a little smidgen over, we would have hit head on. And had we hit head on, especially going 50 plus miles an hour, think about it, we could have hit and then like lost control. We could have hit and just smashed it up, and I was on the side that got scraped up. I was in the back. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, had we been even just inches over, that would have been really, really bad. And then the way that we went into the ditch, we kind of swerved a little bit, and then we went into like a ditch kind of like this sideways, and the car was like this, and we had to like crawl out of this side and get out, and it was really, really steep, and it was just really bad. And the car that my friend was driving, he was just driving his dad's Monte Carlo, but he was supposed to be driving his mom's Jeep that day. And had we been in the Jeep, the way that we went in the ditch, it would have flipped over. Even if we hadn't hit head on. If we had hit head on, it would have been really bad. And the really stupid thing, this was so stupid, me and then my two other friends who were in the back with me, we didn't have our seatbelts on. I always wear a seatbelt when I'm in the car, especially the front seat. But that day I was just like, oh, if you're 16 and older, you don't have to wear seatbelts in the back. And I didn't wear one. And it was just really stupid. And it was a major wake-up call. Me and Laura were really upset about it. We cried. We weren't upset because it was like scary, because how it happened with us, just to scrape into a ditch and the car was like fine. We were all fine. So we're like, no big deal. The accident wasn't a big deal. But we started thinking about it, and we started thinking, oh man, our friend's gonna get in trouble, and we're upset over that. And then one of our other friends showed up to help get the car out, and he knows a lot about cars, and he was the one telling us, like, you guys are really lucky it didn't flip. Like, it easily could have. And we were just like, oh my god. And then I was like, oh my god, Laura, had we been inches over, we would have hit head on. That would have been really bad. And then I was like, oh my god, I didn't have a seatbelt on. And all these things were going through my head. And I was just thinking, oh my god, like, had just one thing been different, we could have died or gotten seriously injured. It was really sad. It was hard to take it in. I felt partially responsible because I wasn't opposed to the idea, and the whole thing was just crazy. But anyway, how this relates to my uncle is somebody had to have been protecting us, because if they weren't, nobody else would have gotten that lucky. Like, the car wasn't even damaged. But just seriously, one more thing, had we been in the Jeep, or had we been a few inches over, or had we been going a little bit faster, or anything like that, it could have been a lot worse. And it was just crazy too, because we were just at the cemetery. And in my eyes, it was somebody trying to give us a message like, okay, I'll save your butts this time, but this is gonna have to be a wake-up call. Like, next time it will be worse. That's how it was to me. Like, it was more of a warning. Like, we were protected, but we were still shaken up about it. And to me, somebody had to have been watching over us. I automatically thought of my uncle, and I was like, oh my god, thank you for protecting me. Thank you for protecting my friends. Thank you. It's just hard. I still feel really responsible about that. And our friend that passed, we thought he was definitely one of the angels too. He had to have been, because he was really good friends with Laura, so he was definitely protecting her, and Callie, my other friend who was there. And also, we concluded that Laura's uncle had to be watching over her and everybody as well, because she told me that when she got home that night, she said that she felt kind of like a cold hand like rubbing her back. And I totally believe her, because she's not crazy when it comes to that kind of stuff, and she doesn't lie to me at all. And she said it had never happened before, and it was so crazy, and that's the first thing that she thought of. And when I got home, I looked at my uncle's picture, and I just, even though in the picture he's smiling, it was almost like I could see disappointment in his eyes, and I could kind of just feel like his burning gaze at me. And I felt so guilty. I felt like he's been working so hard his whole life to protect me, and then I just screw it up. And I felt like he was disappointed in me, and I felt horrible. And I will never go down that road for enjoyment ever again. I just feel really guilty. I feel like he was really disappointed, and that really upset me a lot. I cried over that because I just could feel the disappointment from him, and it sucked. It was horrible. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is I have 2 items of his. One of them is a watch, and this is a watch that, it's not a valuable watch, it's just a cheap old thing, but my dad gave it to me because he didn't have anything else really to like pass down to me. Like, he gave my oldest brother a gun that was my great-grandfather's, and he's giving my other brother a sword that was my dad's. And my dad said, I don't really have anything for you, but you can have my brother's watch. So he gave me my uncle's watch, and I thought it was amazing because it was the first thing I'd ever even touched of his, and I thought it was just the coolest thing. And it's just a cheap old thing, but my dad said, please take care of this. He loved it. He wore it every day. He bought it with his own money. It was one of the first things he ever spent his own money on, and it felt really special to me because he really valued it, and he worked hard for it, and I didn't want to screw it up. And just knowing that he had it on him one day, I feel like if and when I wear it, that it makes me closer to him. Does that sound crazy? It probably does. But I never wear it because I don't want to take the risk of breaking it or losing it. So I just keep it in my dresser. But I put it on twice. I put it on the day that I got it just to, just to have it on for whatever reason. I didn't want to lose it. And then the other day I was feeling really down and I put it on. The first time I put it on, I noticed that me and him, we have like the same wrist size. So either he was scrawny or I just have a big wrist. I don't really know. It's not that, it is kind of big. Anyway, I put it on, and we actually, the clasp, you could like see, because it was all worn down around that hole, which one he used to wear it on, and I wore the same one. So it was kind of cool to think that we had something else in common physically, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like I said the other day when I put on the watch, I was feeling down. It was the most weird and bizarre thing ever. Like, it was crazy. I can't even explain it. I don't know still what happened, but I put on this watch when I was sad, and the second I had it buckled and on, and I was looking at it, and I was kind of like talking like to him, but I was looking at this watch, my wrist got really warm. It was weird. I never told anybody that, but it got really warm, almost like somebody was holding my wrist or my hand or something, and it was so weird to me. And it kind of felt like energy-ish, I guess. Like, it kind of felt a little bit tingly too. It was weird. I've never felt anything like it. And when I took it off, it went away instantly. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. Another item that I have of his is this little Mexican blanket. He actually got this when he went to Mexico one time, and my dad said that he just bought it because he thought it was really cool and kind of funky, and he just really liked it. And I sleep with this every night. It's not very comfortable. It's kind of itchy, actually. I still like it because it's his. I mean, it is warm. It's kind of cuddly. I always like cuddle up with it because I never feel like I'm alone. Anytime I'm having a bad day or I'm sad about something, I'll just kind of like, cuddle with it or anything like that. And it's just so weird. I just feel so much better. Like, I'll be really, really sad, like hysterically crying, and then the second I get all cuddled up with this, I just feel so relieved, and I just feel so refreshed, and it's just weird. Like, I almost feel like he's with me when I have this. And you can think I'm crazy or not, but she just gets me through so many things, I think. Like, I can't do anything without me. He does everything for me. Like, I remember I went to a job interview. I've been to several million job interviews, and I never got any of the jobs. And then where I work now was my most recent job interview, and I remember right before I got out to talk to the guy, I was like, Glenn, please, for the love of God, don't let me say anything stupid. Just please give me some good luck or something. And I got the job within 10 minutes. So that was crazy. Anytime I need to find something, I'd be like, Glenn, where is this? I can't find it. Help me. I'll find it. Or I'll be looking on the radio, and then it'll just be like commercial, like a horrible song, and I'll be like, man, I really wish that this one song was on. Change it to the next channel, and then that song's on, and I'm just like, oh, thanks thanks for that. Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, I feel like he just looks out for me and tries to make me happy. At least that's how I see it. You could probably be listening to this and think I'm a total quack, but I don't care. That's just how it is to me. That's how I see things, and that's how I'm going to see things. That's how I've always seen things since I was younger, and I'm always going to. He's my good luck charm, my security blanket, my protection, my luck, my everything. And it's kind of crazy, if you ask me. It's pretty crazy. And also, just the thought of him just calms me down so much. Like, I am scared to death of cemeteries. They unnerve me beyond belief. I don't like them at all. I hate walking on the dirt because I always feel like my foot is going to get sunken in. My foot has actually sunken into a grave a little bit before, and it's just like, ugh. And every cemetery I've ever been in, except for the one he's buried in, I've just felt so uneasy and just, like, dead bodies just scare me so much. They just freak me out. Like, even if it was somebody that I loved when they were alive, like, as soon as I see their dead body, I'm just like, oh man, whew, that's just, oh, no. Like, it's not my thing. They just totally unnerve me. And I get these urges sometimes just to go to his grave, which is not close to me. It's about a half-hour drive away. And I'll just get urges. I'll just feel like I really need to go. And then I'll go there sometimes alone, not tell anybody, and then I'll just go and I'll sit in front of his grave. And I will just feel so at peace and so relaxed and just like a weight's lifted off my shoulders. And I don't feel uneasy or unnerved. And it's so weird to me because it's like, why would I feel so relaxed in a cemetery unless he's with me? Because they unnerve me so much. And I don't know, it's just crazy. Alright guys, so those are some of my true, honest feelings and experiences and stories and whatnot that I have of my uncle being my guardian angel. Again, if you don't believe it, I'm sorry, you don't have to, but that's the truth. And I'm going to keep doing these. I think next I'm going to tell you guys about my haunted house that I live in. That's going to be either 2 or 3 parts because there's tons of crazy crap happening here. So if you like this, then thumbs up or let me know or anything. Tell me about your paranormal experiences, video response, anything you want because it's so fascinating to me. And I will be back with more later on and some Halloween tutorials. And I hope you guys have an awesome October. Bye guys.